Pros always look amazing when they are pedaling. It's almost like observing a piece of fine art. Okay, I may be exaggerating a bit there, but you get the picture. They're just so smooth and relaxed. But how do they do it? Here are our top tips to get you pedaling like a pro. You may be new to clipless pedals, so you might just be getting used to them. But either way, try not to pull up on the pedal stroke when you're pedaling. You want to try and relax and allow your shoe to naturally return to the top of the downward position of the pedal stroke. Embrace the natural cycle of the pedaling routine. Don't overthink things. Your pedaling will be a lot smoother as a result. If you're finding it hard to relax, a bike fit can make a huge difference to your pedaling style. For example, if your saddle is too high, it can cause you to overreach to those pedals, causing your hips to rock quite a bit. Now, especially during those longer, more intense efforts, this can cause quite a laborious pedaling style. When sitting on the saddle, the correct angle should be 25 to 30 degrees when your pedal is at the bottom of the stroke. Or your heel should just touch the pedals when you straighten your leg. Now also, try not to have too large a drop between the handlebars and the saddle. Pros often slam their stem all the way to the top of the head tube. And they do this because they've been riding for literally years and have got used to it over time. Look at Adam Blythe, for instance. He's been riding pretty much since he was born. And he has his handlebars all the way down to his wheels almost. I mean, if I tried that, my back would just be done in after a few kilometres. Just find a position that's comfortable for you and don't overreach. It'll only make it harder to pedal, and over time, that pedaling style will become even more laborious and difficult. 5 or 10 minutes of stretching every other day can really make a huge difference to how you feel on the bike. Maintaining that flexibility is just so important for a smooth pedaling style. If you want to check out any really useful videos on stretching, check out this vid from GCN right here. I always found my hamstrings tightened up quite a lot when I was riding, especially when I was really pushing hard. So I often focused on my hamstring stretches. Maintaining that flexibility is just so important for a comfortable position and a smooth pedaling style. Cleat position is often overlooked when it comes to your pedaling technique. Again, we really recommend a personalised professional bike fit in this respect, but here are some of our top tips for your cleat position. Now firstly, try and position the ball of your foot over the top of the pedal spindle so that when the pedals are horizontal, the ball of your foot lies directly above that pedal spindle. Another point is to try and find out how to angle your cleats, and you can do this by standing in bare feet, relaxing with your stance, and look down and observe the angle which you find your feet at. Now mine were always with my toes pointing out and my heels pointed in. That's just the natural way that I used to stand, and it was how I used to position my cleats as well on the bike. And everyone is different, so try and figure it out for yourself. And also try and keep your cleat position symmetrical from one shoe to the other. You don't want any asymmetrical differences. Unless of course you do have an existing injury which has been recognised by a physio. Also, it's worth bearing in mind that you might have one leg bigger than the other, which can easily throw your pedaling technique off. Most pedal manufacturers provide a shim which can be placed between the cleat and the shoe and can help to offset any of these differences. Now if you can afford to, try not to skimp on your cycling shorts. A good chamois will go a long way to keeping that comfort on the bike. And I'd really recommend using chamois cream also. If you're riding on those rough, bumpy roads often, it can be easy to develop saddle sores. So try to avoid this. A saddle sore can really throw your pedaling technique off. You're always moving around on the saddle, trying to get comfortable, and it just throws everything out. So try to wash your shorts after each ride. Find a good chamois short combo that works right for you. Try these simple cadence drills next time you're out on a ride. 10 minutes duration, alternating 2 minutes at 120 RPM and 2 minutes at 50 RPM. This is a great way of activating and engaging those muscles you use when you're pedaling. and it will go a long way to keep your pedaling style more efficient during those hard, intense efforts. You can try this on a recovery day or when you're too tired to do a long, hard, intense ride. The rest of the time, try and find a cadence that works well for you, anywhere between 75 and 105 revolutions per minute. Now try to work on your core strength when you're not on the bike, and find a few exercises which you can carry out a few times a week. GCN has done some great videos on core strength exercises you can check out right here. Core strength is just so important for your riding. It keeps a strong upper body, allowing your upper body to stay in place, which means an efficient and smooth pedaling style. Core strength will also help you stop any unnecessary rocking of your upper body, which will not only waste energy, but cause you to lose your pedaling style completely. You want your upper body to stay as still as possible while your legs pedal smoothly underneath. A bit like a swan gliding gracefully on a pond. Finally, you don't want to do any irregular jerks whilst you're pedaling. Try to avoid this. You want to try to keep your pedaling as smooth and as circular as possible. Now this may sound silly, but at the end of a long ride, it might feel like you're pedaling squares. Just try to relax and keep that smooth, rhythmic pedaling style. So those are our top tips to get you pedaling like a pro. Just remember, try not to get overwhelmed with any of these tips and introduce any changes gently. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please give it a like. Remember, keep that pedaling technique smooth. A bit like Hank's chat-up lines. Okay, maybe not that smooth. How long did you say Hank did this for? 30 seconds. I should be able to beat that. Hank's a bit soft, isn't he? So